Fans are singing along with Price and Stock's walk-up music. Out at home plate, what a play by Hoffman!
He got him, and the ball game and the series are over. Home run for Kyle Schwarber. And the Phillies have the National League championship.
Welcome back, Chase Nation, to another edition of the Quit Chasin Podcast. A little snarky, a little irreverent, and always unqualified. It's still the preseason, but that doesn't mean there isn't stuff to talk about. I mean, there really isn't, but we have to produce content. So without further ado, I'm Alex Kruger. That's Danny the Gerb. Danny, say hi to the folks.
Hey, everyone. How you doing tonight, Alex? Preseason, dude. Preseason. You're still in birds mode.
You know, okay. Yeah, it's preseason, spring training, preseason. It is before the season starts. Therefore, it is the pre of the season. So I'm going to take that one. If I were to call football spring training, that would be wrong. But preseason, I'm good with.
Oh, all right. I mean, it depends on what your definition of is, I suppose.
From a grammatical standpoint, it makes sense to call it the preseason. By the way, what'd you think of my little sunglasses here?
I enjoyed it.
So, as you know, Party City is going under, and they are liquidating all of their assets to the extent that you can actually buy the safe from the store for $1,000.
That's not bad. How do you know they're going under?
Well, the internet told me, and then for a work thing, I have to do a video like 10 years in the future. So naturally, I had to go get white hairspray for myself because it's me. And while I was there, I saw the signs for 80% off. So like, I let the girls each pick out a Halloween costume. Why not? They had a bunch of Phillies gear, including a 10-pack of these sunglasses. So I'm gonna get some coming your way too, big guy. But I had fun.
I can't wait. I've never been in one. I just always assumed it was napkins, plates, and balloons.
It's definitely tons of that, but also other things. And I recommend going before they do fully shutter their doors on the 23rd. So you got like 17 days.
That fanatic holiday mural that I sent you the other day, I think is actually on the side of a Party City or a Balloon City. I don't know.
I wonder what the difference, like, I wonder if Balloon City has party things, because Party City has balloon things. So are they both encroaching on each other's territory? That's the question.
Is there a balloon? Is Balloon City in JJ's costume? Do you remember that jingle growing up? Was that like a regional thing, or was that local to us? Balloon City and JJ's costumes.
That might have been local to us. But hey, listeners out there, if you're not from the 717, you remember Balloon City and JJ's costume, write in, let us know. Tell us that you're alive. It'd be great. I worry, Danny. That this might be a weird episode that we've been talking Party City, Balloon City, and JJ's, and we haven't talked any Phils yet. So shall we? Shall we talk? Are you? It's fine. I'll say the correct terminology, the correct vocabulary. It's spring training, Danny. Are you feeling it?
Yeah. So I was gonna propose that to you, that we just change this bit to spring training, feeling it. And I got to admit right now, I'm feeling it.
Really? Talk to me.
Air is so cold and numb. I'm feeling it. No, I'm not. Not at all.
Well, now I just don't know what to believe anymore.
I'm not. So one of the things is I still have not switched over my streaming provider yet. So I'm not getting NBC Sports Philadelphia. So I haven't been horribly locked into it. There are some things I am starting to feel like I've just recently started to get the texts again from the friends. Hey, you watching this game? Are you seeing this? And like that feels good. And I've been saying, no, I'm not. What am I missing? Something goofy? Like Stubbs at third again? Like I heard Topper yesterday, or maybe it was today on WIP. They were talking with him, and he was like, "Yeah, we're still trying to get these starters up to 6 innings." And I was like, well, until they're there, I'm good.
And that's the thing, man. Once we're at bullpen in the fourth, like, okay, it's still not yet baseball. It's almost enough to whet the appetite, almost. But you watch 1 or 2 games just to get the pinstripe feeling back in the vibes, and then you're like, all right, what the hell am I doing here?
That's kind of true. I mean, you have Rojas DHing.
Sure.
Stubbs at third. Apparently, everyone is getting their turn at left field. Go down to Clearwater, Alex. You'll get an inning in left field.
I can't do any worse than Diet Hunter Pence. I'm sure I could. I'm not athletic, but I agree with you. A year ago, 2 years ago as well, I was so hungry for Phillies content that, yeah, I was watching spring training games and I was giving a crap about it. But either I'm not that hungry or I know damn well I've got 162 of these ahead of me, and I'm not here to get full on breadsticks, man, when I know the meal's coming.
I kind of will push back. I think there's a way more obvious answer in front of both of our faces than either of those. And I think it's the fact that what is there to watch? Other spring trainings, you're like, hey, there's this guy. They got this guy. What are they going to do here? We know what it is. It's a bench battle between
who gives a shit, and
yeah.
I'll see you in May. Yeah.
The Rocket.
Yep.
the Rocket Junior, the Missile, I guess, is what we decided with
yes,
Jack,
sir.
right?
Because he hits the missile.
Yeah, so it's the Missile, it's Buddy Kennedy, it's Weston Wilson who got hurt on a swing in the cage, right?
Yep.
Who am I missing?
Stubby.
Oh, yeah, that is going on. But
he is
either
a bench guy.
Right. I hear you.
Is this Gabriel Rinconis Jr. or something?
I mean,
or is he just that guy this year?
I think he's just that guy this year because you're looking for someone to talk about, someone to watch. Because again, it's that bench battle with those names that we mentioned. Who, ready for this, Alex? Doesn't matter what happens in spring training, because we're going to see all of them at some point up and down as the year goes on, like we did last season, anyways. So, what is there?
There's nothing now. At the same time, every now and then there are itty bitty nuggets of things worth paying attention to. So I wrote down literally only two things that really stuck out to me, which is yesterday, both Casty and Max Kepler went back to back. It was Casty's first home run this spring training, Kepler's second. And I don't know, I wasn't exactly high on Kepler, but he's been a very competent baseball player in the at bats and fielding I've seen from him. So I like that. That's cool. And baseball's almost back when I get pissed off about an in-game interview. Okay. ESPN was interviewing Topper with Jesus Luzardo on the mound. Luzardo gives up a grand slam, then gives up 2 first pitch home runs. So 3 straight home runs while Topper is on the air. And it's like, just cut to commercial, guys. Just get him out. Be like, Topper, you've got some things to work on. We'll talk to you later. Like, I'm not gonna eat your sandwich right in front of you, bud. But man, Luzardo, woo, Jack Fritz, how you feeling, bud?
Was that the Yankees game?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. I mean, no, actually, it was not Yankees. It was like Detroit or something. It was 17-7. It was wild.
Yeah, well, I take a lot of stock in a spring training game, so I don't know. So
we know
feeling it because the boys are getting closer to being back. But yeah, exactly. What is there to watch? And typically, I would, as it gets closer to St. Patrick's Day, I would start checking in more and more. Anyways, as history, that was my history with spring training. Anyways,
I like it.
Yeah.
I would usually wait until my bracket was busted in the NCAA tournament. So 2 days in, and then I would start, paying attention to baseball.
I got you. So when they used to do the green hats.
Oh yeah. Green hats.
That is when I'd be like, okay, we're getting close.
Nice.
Yeah.
P.S. There is I think June or so, Apple TV Phillies Mets game in Philly. We should consider going to that.
That's the only way you can see those games.
That's the only way you can see those games. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Right. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. We'll see.
I'm still taking the approach to that we had last season, that if it's on Apple TV, that game was not played.
Okay. I love that.
Just didn't happen. Just doesn't happen in my mind.
I like, the last time we went, JT, one of our more, or not JT, Trey Turner, one of our more polarizing players got hurt. So we'll see what kind of negative voodoo we can bring into the stadium this time, guys.
Oh yeah, but that was a great night. I had fun with you and your family, and that old lady getting cranky in the line.
God love her. God love her. She hated you so much. The fun power couple next to us, good times.
Yeah. I wonder how they're doing.
I'm guessing. You know what? I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on other people's lives because I don't even know if they were like a couple or brother sister. I don't really know. All I know is they said that they would listen to us, and our numbers never jumped. So, guys. No, but to your point, we know what we're getting. We know who these guys are, or do we? Danny, you proposed an idea to this week, and you have been slaving away and killed yourself to produce 6 minutes and 42 seconds of truly delightful content. And I would like you to kind of segue us into this next section because I'm just so proud of what you put together.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. So we were talking, and I had the idea, instead of us just doing, and we'll get to it later in the evening, I promise. Instead of us doing what a lot of people are doing and making up conversation about spring training baseball, let's dissect some of our boys that we know. Let's deep dive them. It came from the fact that you were messaging me the other week that you got into a little bit of an internet spat.
I sure did.
Over this player, and I was like, yeah, dude, like, I said my snarky smartass replies back to you, and at the time, like, I was right and justified and everything that goes with it. But I then thought about it. I was like, a year or so ago, my whole like I love my boys crowd that I always rail against, like, this is the same exact player I got in a fight with them about too. Like, what is it about this player that guys like you and I are so dismissive of, but the I love my boys crowd rallies behind?
I know.
So we needed to find out, and we went on a mission. We wrote to the Queen of Spain. She funded the trip. We found the West Indies, and we have some answers for you. Right? That's who funded the trip. The Spanish.
Yes. I'm just waiting for you to hit play.
I'm trying to get to it because we had to do that dumb workaround. So I'm trying to get to it, and I don't remember. I don't quite remember the steps I took.
Screen share?
No, I'm there. I'm there.
All right. This is what happens when you don't have a producer, folks.
No, we got this. Tonight on a QC investigative report. How did a young kid from Del City, Oklahoma turn into a lightning rod for two different low-level podcasters' internet quarrels? From taking his talents to South Beach and letting the fame and money roll into Philadelphia, is there an extension on the way for this aging vet? And can we answer who truly owns the best catcher in baseball title? All this and more, but mostly stats, on this episode, The Curious Case of JT Realmuto. Born Jacob Tyler Realmuto, a right-hand hitting professional baseball catcher. He was drafted out of Flyover State University in the third round of the 2010 MLB draft to the Marlins of, at that time, Florida. Just the whole state of Florida. You have Tampa Bay Rays, but the whole state of Florida Marlins. Whatever. He spent the next several seasons in the Marlins system doing some real Crash Davis type shits. Realmuto made his MLB debut in June of 2014 and would become the permanent starting catcher for the Marlins in 2015. Realmuto would tool around South Beach playing ball and making babies until his first All-Star appearance and his first Silver Slugger award for his 2018 campaign. Up next, how a chilly February phone call would break those Florida man vibes. The Marlins, now being billed from Miami, would trade Realmuto to the Phillies of Philadelphia in February of 2019. That season, he would receive his second All-Star and Silver Slugger Award and his first Gold Glove. He became a free agent after the 2020 season. The Phillies organization felt the pressure to re-sign JT, mostly because of the Sign JT campaign over the internet and the persistence of assistant GM Bryce Harper. By January of 2021, Realmuto and the Phillies agreed to a 5-year, $115.5 million contract, the largest for any catcher in MLB history. Now in the last year of his contract with the Philadelphia Phillies, and the sands of time still dropping, let's check out his numbers in the red pinstripes. In 2019, JT was already turning heads. A .275 batting average, 25 home runs, and 83 RBIs. But it wasn't just his bat that earned him recognition. His defensive prowess behind the plate was the stuff of legend. A .995 fielding percentage, a career-high 43 caught stealings, and 10 framing runs above average. Just absolutely one hell of a 2019. But before we move on, can we talk about pop time for a second? This dude is an absolute beast. From 2019 to 2024, he has had the fastest pop time to second base in the league. And somehow, he just keeps on getting quicker as the seasons go on. In 2019, he averaged a 1.88 second pop time to second base. In 2024, it was 1.85. And in the same time frame, his pop time to third base, he stays in the top 4 throughout the league. Although he has gone from third in the league to fourth from the 23 season to the 24 season. Then, as the world shuts down, no one will tell JT what to do, especially Canada. That was actually 2022, but who cares about the 2020 shortened season Mickey Mouse numbers? Moving on. 2021 and 2022, JT led the league in pitch framing metrics. His ability to steal strikes for his pitchers turned games around. And then there's the leadership. Every pitcher trusts him. Solid at the plate, with batting average .263, 73 RBIs, and 17 dingers, seeing 129 strikeouts in 2021. And in 2022, slightly better at the plate, batting a .276 with 84 RBIs, 22 homers, and seeing fewer strikeouts at 119. 22 did show another excellent year in the field, with a fielding percentage of a .993 and 30 caught stealings. In 2023, JT's batting average dipped slightly to a .252, but slightly rose in 24 to a .266. He batted in 110 runs in those 2 seasons, and each of them had double-digit homers. 2024 saw the fewest games behind the dish at 99 due to a knee surgery. It was 36 fewer games than he had in his 2023 season, which is also his career high. Both seasons saw consistent and exceptional fielding percentages at a .998 in 23 and a .995 in 24. He finished with 16 caught stealings, which was 6 more higher than his lowest year, which was 10 in 2021. With a consistent, solid batting average hovering around .260 to .280, he's a reliable hitter, regularly reaching double-digit home runs and RBIs. Defensively, Realmuto is the cornerstone for the Phillies. He's earned multiple Gold Gloves and many ASG nods. He's consistently posted high fielding percentages. His reliability and consistency in handling a pitching staff and managing games defensively, although slightly diminishing as age does. The data from 2019 to 24 paints a picture of JT Realmuto as a catcher who combines offensive prowess with defensive mastery, and he's exceptionally durable. Rather than showing signs of decline, his performance has been consistently consistent and outright outstanding.
Second base is a strike. What a throw by JT Realmuto.
I did turn off my microphone so that
there you go.
so that you wouldn't hear any background noise. So I just lauded you so hard and told you just how much I adored everything you just did, and it's never to be found again. So great job. I suck. Well done. Well done.
Well, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. So that was JT. I mean, obviously there were a million more numbers to pour over, but hell of a player and a consistent player.
All right, so we both looked at these numbers, man, and we've both been anti-JT for the longest time.
We haven't been horribly anti-JT.
You just speak for yourself.
Okay.
I have not understood. I just didn't get it. He also just looks like a tool, and I guess maybe he does have that kind of punchable face, which, dear God, I don't want to punch him. He would beat the living hell out of me. But he does have that kind of face that, like, you just look at it and you're like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what are you thinking about other than Levi's? Yeah, I haven't made a Levi's comment in a year, but here we are. So I don't know. There was just always something about JT that I don't dig, but man, you look at the numbers and it's kind of hard not to love him.
Absolutely, I agree. So he never irked a whole bunch of, whatever. He didn't get a big visceral response from me. I also didn't think he was great. I don't know. I understood that he was a defensive catcher. But we talked about the best catcher in baseball moniker. Like, oh man, that's long gone. Like, they've been using those initials now for this guy 3 seasons past its prime. But I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, maybe not.
The caught stealing numbers are a little bit, I guess, are the one spot where I'd like to see better, but like at the same time, his first year in Philly, 47% caught stealing. That's insane. Now last year was 20%, the year before that, 22%, year before that, 44%. So like, it's really hard to tell.
I noticed those numbers as well, like the number, in fact, going up and down, like having 43 in 2019 and 10 in 21 is
right. Weird,
baffling, right? Just weird. For the season after that to go back up to 30, like, so there is something there, but for the most part, the guy's the definition of consistency, really.
Dude, I tried to group up his hittings because, again, the cool thing about statistics is if you want to make your point, there's a statistic out there to make that point. No matter what you want your point to be, you can find some slug Ward 440 some shit or whatever some random nerd sabermetric came up with that can prove inefficiency or efficiency. But like, I took his 6 years in Philly, I split it up 3 years versus 3 years, and his averages and the difference is eerily similar. Like, we're talking plus or minus 1 or 2. You're right, man. The picture perfect definition of consistent, and it's baffling because what I think it comes down to is it situational? Is it that, he doesn't perform when you're watching? It's the old Ryan Howard theory, he gets 3 home runs when you're up 11-2, but when you're down 2-1, he ain't hitting shit. So is it like that with JT, that he doesn't have that clutch? But like, he's had some clutch moments. But
yeah, I was gonna say that 10th inning in Game 1 of the World Series, it doesn't get more clutch than that.
So what is it about him?
Game 7, a Game 7 in an NLCS against Arizona might have been a little more clutch than that, but
you know what? I'm not going to crucify him for all 9 player sins. Like, he was not the reason.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm just we're gonna ask what is more clutch.
For sure.
I would probably say a Game 7 homer, but so here's and then like, I don't know what it is because it's not like that we turned our head and JT did something great. It's we sat there and watch it all, which made me really shake I was a big believer. I was an eye test guy. I've always been an eye test guy. And here I have some more numbers for you. And this one,
oh no,
this one, I think, and I don't know if you took a look at these. This is absolutely fascinating because this is one of our things. This is one of our gripes. This is one of our things that we would send crusades out for it and sit on our hill and be like, we are right, we are right, we are right. Ground into double plays.
Okay, I am assuming that he is terrible and does it constantly. That's where I did not look at this number.
I looked at him.
Okay, so I am walking into this assuming that JT grounds into a lot of double plays. Tell me how I'm wrong, because I'm guessing that's what's happening here.
So again, fairly consistent with his numbers. I took out 2020 because of the
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, the Mickey Mouse numbers. So 19, 21, 22, 23, and 24 ground into double plays from 19 to 24 are 12, 8, 7, 10, 7. So he's averaging that, 9, 10-ish number. Here's the thing. Bad. This is where it gets interesting, because I feel that every time we see someone on base, we're like, here it is. Let's just take 23 and then 24, because I'm not going to do this for everyone. He had 10 ground and double plays in 2023 out of 76 opportunities too.
Okay.
And in 2024, 7 out of 54 opportunities. The numbers look like that. I guess I am going to do them all. 2019, 12 out of 97. 21, 8 out of 62. 22, 7 out of 72.
I mean, dude, this is the most consistent 13% I've ever seen in every single year. It's 13% ground into double plays. That's not that bad.
Yeah. Right? No, but for some reason in our eyes, he's doing it at every at bat. Homeboy's doing it at every at bat.
It does feel that way, doesn't it? So, all right. So 2 things. Okay. Number 1, Mom, just so you know, when we refer to the Mickey Mouse season, that's our way of saying the COVID shortened season, which was like a handful of games. It didn't really count, especially because the Dodgers won the World Series that year. So we all just pretend that it didn't happen, just like the Republican Party does with COVID itself. On top of that, I am wondering, Danny.
Don't tell JT what to do.
No, sir. No, sir. Here's what I think it is. And all of the Philly faithful fans out there that kind of feel like we do, maybe this is why. We've put Chooch on too high of a pedestal, and we are so protective of that catcher position that if it's not Carlos Ruiz, it's just not going to be good enough. Whether it's Brian Schneider or whomever the scrub could have been, I just, even if it was 10-year difference, it's still big ass shoes to fill. Probably tiny shoes. He was a short guy, but there was a level of love that we all had for Carlos Ruiz during that 07 to 11 run. And like, even when everyone else pissed us off on that team, he never did, because he was who he was. We knew what we were getting and we loved him. And I just wonder if that's part of what it is, that no one was ever going to compare to Chooch for us. And we've just been very, very unfairly critical of JT all this time. What are your thoughts on that statement?
Yeah, I mean, Philly loves their catchers, right? Chooch, that was, lovable guy. He saw Halliday's perfect game, won a ring. You're gonna love that guy. But Philly also had a love affair with Darren Dalton, and they had they had a love affair with Lieberthal for some reason, and Booney, and they just maybe it's the position. I don't know.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Again, sucks to be you, Brian Schneider. We never loved you. So all right. So I guess verdict time. JT, believer, non-believer, where have you landed?
So, it didn't move the needle for me, other than it shook my eye test metric. So he did. This is where the fan in me always comes in, too. There was always okay, cool, JT's up.
Okay.
I never had an instant hang my head about JT.
Okay. Like you have about some of the other players currently on the roster.
Absolutely, right.
For sure.
So I guess I'm still at the same place. I think I relate and understand to the I love my boys crowd a little more. But as far as what it did on my needle, I'm probably staying the same.
I would say it has shown me a need to provide a little grace for JT. And when he does have those moments where he does ground into a double play or he doesn't pop as fast as he used to, or like did you by any chance of all the numbers you looked up, passed balls?
Oh no, I didn't. There were 4 last year. That's all I know.
It?
That was it.
That's all that they credit him with,
right? Because
versus wild pitches.
I didn't go and check the stat for wild pitch numbers, but he did get credited with 4 pass balls.
All right. Well, John Boy, if you're listening and you're not, if you could do a breakdown on JT Realmuto's pass balls versus wild pitches last year, that would be great. Thanks.
Have you seen? Speaking of which, though, have you seen John Boy's last season? I think it was last season. He did a breakdown of JT's framing.
Oh, that was so good.
Right. So I mean, he was ahead of the curve on it.
You're right.
We are full of it.
We are.
And there you go. And like, hey, we always say if we're wrong, you come up and say we're wrong. We'll probably go, yeah, probably. And this time, guess what? Yeah, probably.
100%. Again, unlike the Republican Party, we have no problem admitting when we're full of shit. So I got to ask.
Did something happen the other day?
What? Oh, did we say we weren't going to do this? Or I just don't care anymore. I don't know. They don't care, so I'm not gonna care. Whatever. I'm over.
Was there something on television that's got you all cranky? What's going on?
Just general life. Life continues to happen. SpaceX rockets blow up over the Bahamas, but it's cool. He's gonna take over NORAD. So I don't know. Just we didn't start the fire, but I'm gonna roast some marshmallows anyways. No,
you can't take over NORAD. So many kids will not know when Santa's gonna get there.
Amen. And that is the most important thing. But
that whole story is fascinating how that all came about, right?
NORAD and Santa?
Yeah.
Illuminate the crowd, Danny.
Oh man, so I don't like names and dates. I don't know.
Cliff notes.
But it was at a military base, a high-ranking official. There was this secret number, that only went to that desk that some kid, I guess, like picked up the phone and started dialing, but reached that person. And the general commander of the base was at first like, what the heck? And you heard this little kid asking for Santa, and the guy played along. And then like that started the whole NORAD tracking thing, and he did it up until the day of his death. And he's a hero for it. But it all started with a kid calling a private line at a military base, and this super gruff, like high-ranking officer picking it up and having a heart and playing along.
Well, there you go, kids. If you're ever wondering for what to do and you're not quite sure, you can always crank call random numbers. You might start history. Danny, this was a great curious case. I gotta wonder if the next time we do one of these, we should just bite the bullet, make Chris and Steve happy, and let's do Trey.
Sure.
Curious case of Trey Turner next, and let's look at the stats and let's see if we're as wrong about Trey as we are about JT.
Sure. I'm not doing it.
No, I'll do it this time. You
right,
put in the Lord's work this time, and no, I'll do that next time. But I don't know. I could go grab a glass of water. How about you? You want to throw some ads up?
I would be glad to.
I gotta find a way to warn you that I'm doing the ad intro so that you have time to prep the audio. I'll get there one of these days. It's still preseason, spring training, whatever. Fuck off.
Let's do some ads.
Let's.
Hey, SpongeBob,
check out my new shirt.
Patrick, is that a heavy metal unicorn?
Uh-huh.
I want one.
Well then, click the link in the episode description to go to the Quit Chasin merchandise store and get one.
Absolutely. Wait, what's a Quit Chasin?
Huh, even I know what Quit Chasin is.
Well, what is it, Squidward?
Just look up Quit Chasin Podcast on social media. I've got customers lining up.
Did somebody say quit chasing?
Wow, Mr. Krabs, you have a Quit Chasin coffee mug, hoodie, t-shirt, and is that a shirt for Gary? Meow.
It sure is. The prices are so low, I feel like I'm getting it for free. And you know how I love to keep on to me monies.
Come on, Patrick, let's visit the Quit Chasin store. Well, hey there, Chase Nation. Alex Kruger here. As our friends from Bikini Bottom go shopping, don't forget to email us at quitchasinpodcast@gmail.com if you want to share feedback or maybe even if you have an idea for an episode of Quit Chasin After Dark. Send it on over. And now, back to the show.
Whoa-ho!
We did it. We both came back right in time-ish.
Yeah, we did. Pro job that one.
I liked it. Danny, we're 36 minutes in, which is impressive because at first I was like, this might be like a 40-minute episode. I'm not quite feeling it. But you're right, man. When the red light district comes on, we are both ready here to perform.
Yeah, oh yeah, Roxanne. Sure.
Roxanne. No. All right. So let's hop into
I thought they only did police songs.
Wait, The Office?
That's correct.
Nice. Speaking of which, folks, there is going to be a Quit Chasin After Dark where Danny and I take a deep, hard look at The Office. There are some controversial opinions to be around.
Oh yeah.
There are going to be some knockdown, drag out fights between Daniel and myself over some pivotal characters. If you believe that you are an Office super fan worthy of this conversation, reach out to us. Let us know. We would love to have a third person to ping pong back and forth with. I didn't tell Danny I was going to do that, but yeah.
No, that's a phenomenal idea. I do feel that this one would probably need some sort of moderator, referee, tiebreaker. So yeah, do it up. Office heads ease.
I like it.
Whatever.
We need
whatever they're called. Yeah.
I'm here for it. But folks, that's going to take us into our bits. Danny, let's start off top. Media stables. As you can tell, I've already been a little bit feisty in the red versus blue area. So I'm just going to lean into that a little bit and whatever. Let's go for it. Folks, if you've been following The Daily Show, which since Jon Stewart retired, why would you? He has since come back. And yeah, I said it.
Mr. Monday Night.
Yes, sir. Mr. Monday Night. Recently, cut his hand on a ceramic mug that he smashed on the desk in anger and like a trooper stayed on. Recently invited one Elon Musk onto his program. And Elon said he would do it as long as it was an unedited airing of the interview. And Stewart thought about that for 0.03 seconds and said, well, yeah, that's how these interviews work. So come on. And then Elon decided to back out because when you stand up to a bully, they tend to shrink. And he has refused to do The Daily Show because he says that Jon Stewart is too biased. And while Jon Stewart is absolutely biased to the left, guess what, Elon? You're biased to the right. The biggest problem is you are not a creator. You buy things, okay? You're an oligarch that buys his ideas. You are not a programmer. You're not a coder. You are nothing but a stupid face, a shirt that barely fits, and a black on black hat, brother. I am so done with this immigrant taking over our country. Oh, that's right. He said it. I'm over it. He's a wuss. He's a pansy. He's not going to go on Jon Stewart because he knows that Jon Stewart's going to wipe the damn floor with him. And it's like, dude, shut up, show up. I'm over it. So that's my media stables. Elon Musk, giant pussy.
Yeah, and he ruined Grimes.
You know what? He did ruin Grimes. Oh, grimy.
I loved
Actually,
Art
Homer
Angels.
Simpson ruined Grimes. Killed him, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyways.
I saw Grimes on the Art Angels tour at the Electric Factory, and I was so excited to get to another Grimes show again in my life, and it's just never going to happen.
Now, let me ask you this, though. She hates him, and she regrets it. So, why wouldn't you then support her once again? Like, she's seen the error of her ways. I believe in redemption.
Yeah, so here's the deal. She was doing that whole trust fund dirty electronic artist thing, even though she came from Canadian money. And a lot of punkers do it and all that kind of stuff. And if you're doing cool stuff, we in the community let that slide, right? Like, all right, like, she kind of admits it. She's doing cool stuff. I don't care. But like, just buying in and leaning into the must stuff, and also really everything after Art Angels hasn't been that great either. So it is partly on the content coming out as well. But
I can honestly say I didn't know Grimes's music before Elon. I still don't know Grimes's music at all. She seems like, is she, I don't know. So no skin off my teeth, I guess.
I like Art Angels.
Okay.
And Genesis. Oblivion.
Right.
I always get it confused. It's one or the other.
This all sounds like chapters of Final Fantasy VII, so maybe I am a little bit intrigued by it. Who knows? But Danny,
if you're into girly electropop, you're gonna love it.
Well, then I stand corrected. What's your media stable this week?
My media stables. All right, I forgot which one we were doing. It's simple. It's an Instagram page. The Quit Chasin Instagram page started following them. It's Brandon Marsh updates, and I don't really know what's going on with it.
Okay.
I can't tell if it really is just a wholesome fan who likes the Phils and Brandon Marsh and posts about it, or if there is a tinge of absurd comedy to it. I can't tell. But if you scroll through it in the vein of this is absurd, a tinge of absurdity, it's a great follow. He does a few services, posts the lineup every day. In his stories, puts the links to, like internet streams of the preseason. There you go. Preseason games.
Love it.
Yeah, that was for you. So, there's some service there, but then it's like updates of like Marsh got his first hit of the season, and it but so real, but at the same time, like, yeah, okay. And like February, the post on February 22nd, it was televised. I don't even know what game it was. They won it, and it was locker room footage of one of the postseason celebrations that just said still undefeated on televised games playing the parade. And I was like, I'm into this. So yeah, Brandon Marsh updates.
I love it.
Love it. I can't tell if it's just wholesome fan fun or a tinge of absurdity, but I love it.
I'm here for it. But Danny, maybe that actually does segue perfectly into the next segment, which is amped up. Danny, what's got you amped up?
Yeah, I'm amped up about the Philadelphia Phillies media. And, so if you guys haven't noticed, we have taken, longer pauses in between our episodes. We have thrown in some after darks. We talk some birds just because we're technically a Phillies podcast. So we'll talk some Phillies sports instead of, just you guys hearing us talk about Taylor Swift all the time. That being said, maybe these guys should take a lesson from us. I can't listen to like the Phillies Digest or Talking Phils anymore. It is just 40 minutes every week, some of them daily, about absolutely nothing.
There's nothing to report on. There hasn't been in 6 months.
Other than, yeah, exactly, the rotating cast that is coming into left field, like, cool. I don't know how you're doing 40 minutes on it. I understand that, like, it's your job, it's your brand, it's your channel. God bless you for trying, I suppose, but my God. Maybe talk Taylor Swift or like a sandwich recipe or something.
I guess there's an audience if they're going to keep pushing out content, or they're like us and they're just going to push it out whether or not anyone listens. But maybe there are those sickos out there that really want to know what that AA prospect that's never going to see the diamond is doing, or maybe they're just sycophants that need every opportunity for hope. And in today's day and age, if you can find hope, I guess hats off to you.
I guess so. Level of fandom that I don't know.
Now we've got lives. That's all right. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. All right. So what's got me amped up, Danny? It's the same thing. It tends to be in the off season when I'm not consuming hours upon hours of baseball a week. I'm consuming hours upon hours of other crap. Right now, the 3 top shows that are going on in my rotation are The White Lotus on HBO, Severance on a streaming service that Danny does not acknowledge, and most recently to come out on Disney Plus. And I have been waiting and waiting, and it has not disappointed. Daredevil Born Again. Daredevil is finally back. We got Charlie Cox as the man without fear, the devil of Hell's Kitchen. It's been phenomenal. But more than anything, last weekend, I got super sick and was bedridden and decided to watch movies I had never seen before. And I watched 14 movies I have never seen before. And it was a delightful way to get through a sickness. I loved it.
What was the most notable?
Oh, gosh. I'm just going to pop out a bunch of names. So, and these are all I had not seen before. So, Notting Hill.
That's what most means, but sure.
Fair enough. Notting Hill, 2 Weeks Notice, Dungeons and Dragons, Nobody, starring Bob Odenkirk, Dumb Money. That was fun. Adventureland. That was a hoot, sort of.
Kristen Stewart, Adventureland? No. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Lisa P, bro.
Dude. That is the movie that started my infatuation with Kristen Stewart. Also, Nobody's an amazing movie.
Bob Odenkirk has no business being as badass as he is in that movie, but holy shit. That movie was amazing. So, all right. I tried to watch Adventureland the year after I graduated college, which when you graduate college during the recession and you have no outlook on life and no career paths, Adventureland is not the kind of movie you want to watch because you will slip into depression. So I watched like the first 20, 25 minutes of it, turned it off, never watched it again. Watched it recently. Holy crap, was it phenomenal. Jesse Eisenberg, where you actually believe women would be attracted to him. Like he's Jesse Eisenberg, but he's not fully neurotic yet. Kristen Stewart in just a really dynamite role. I mean, people that hate on her acting clearly have never seen this movie. And between her and Arpats and what they've said about the Twilight series, like maybe that was more on the writing, but like, man, I'm sorry, I forgot. But man, our girl has chops and like really, really good stuff, really dramatic, like really executed the Ryan Reynolds triangle and all that. Like I was blown away by what she did. So I'd say Adventureland was one of the sneaky MVPs of the new movie breakdown.
Absolutely a great movie. I loved it. I worked at Hershey. It was oddly
similar.
Working. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I could see that. Heisey worked at Hershey, and every now and then we would get in for those employee nights, and that'd be fun. But yeah, no, I mean, so much of it seemed resonant, and especially of the era and of the time. My favorite running joke in that entire movie is obviously Amadeus. Every few scenes, you got Amadeus playing on the disco round or Himalaya or whatever it's called. I thought that was just dynamite. So that's what's got me amped up. I am trying to consume as much content as humanly possible before I willingly give up 3 hours a night of my life to the Lords of Baseball.
Oh yeah, that is happening.
It is real damn soon. Like by the end of this month, I'm not going to have time for all my silly little shows, which sucks because like The Last of Us is coming out and the last season of The Righteous Gemstones is coming out, which is a massively underappreciated show. It's one of the funniest damn things I've ever seen. But that is in no way, shape, or form going to lead us into, Danny, our final segment. Guys, you didn't know this was coming, but you could have anticipated it. Love it or hate it.
The end of the Poop series.
Yo!
That was a bit.
I know. I do want to discuss it, but I also want to do the love it or hate it. So I'm a little
Let's do it.
torn.
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
let's do it.
We're gonna do a double up, love it or hate it, guys,
Because
because
I'm going to
one,
bring up the end of the poop series from now into the end of the poop
Poop
series.
series, which is now. Yeah. So to anyone that didn't know before the Super Bowl what the scoreboard on a television was called, it's called a score bug. Which, man, we are somehow going backwards in technology. Someone went into Microsoft Paint and created a new score bug for NBC Sports Philadelphia, but unfortunately, it is no longer symbol score symbol. It is 3-digit city name score, 3-digit city name score. So the days of the poop series are sadly dead. I think it ran its course. I'm ready to flush it down.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about it. That's not what we're doing.
No, it's not. That's not our love it, hate it.
Yeah,
I love
no,
it, hate it.
It jumped the shark, remember?
Yeah, it did.
That's what I said. Much like the phrase "jump the shark." I believe that was my exact quote.
It was your exact quote. I love it.
Yes, I know.
And folks, if you've been following Daniel San and I, you know that we are two men that really, really appreciate a nice chin mullet, some facial hair, and we're very passionate about that. It's why I could have never played for the Yankees. But wait, Danny, love it or hate it, the Yankees have reversed course on their facial hair policy, and you can now rock more than just a flavor-saving mustache. Love it or hate it?
Hate it. Absolutely hate it.
Go on.
It normalizes the Yankees. It makes them a normal team. As much as I dislike the Yankees, that's part of it. You'd be like, oh, those mutants up in New York that don't even let you grow a beard. Like, it was one more thing to, like, just be like, see, look at them, to point your finger at and be like, this is why we don't like them, because they're mutant weirdos.
You know what? I was going to say that I love that they got rid of the Yankees facial hair policy because I thought it was stupid. It was archaic, and they made Johnny Damon shave it all off, and that pissed me off.
That's correct. That's all correct. And it's one of the reasons why you hated them.
And you know what? You literally just convinced me with that. I am going to about face live on air, pre-recorded. I also hate that they wussed out and got rid of that because you know what? You hate the evil empire, man. Like the entire Yankees organization is the personification of some frat boy named Chad or Kyle. Like they are a popped collar in pinstripes. Okay. They are everything you've ever hated. They are the premier nepo baby of the baseball universe. Everything you hate about privilege and prestige and just being born on third base and acting like you hit a triple. All these people that say that Derek Jeter was the GOAT when he was like a slapdick hitter, like, okay, whatever.
They got meatballs halfway through his career, but yeah, sure.
Meatballs. Absolutely. You see Giancarlo Stanton's out for a couple of months.
I did not.
Tendonitis in both elbows. That sucks. I like him. He's a good dude. But hey, anything bad that happens to the Yankees, I'm always here for. So yeah, man, you changed my mind right here, right now. I hate that the Yankees wimped out and changed their policy. If for no other reason, maybe we'll be able to, I don't know, trade Marsh to them or something. Because he has future Yankee written all over him. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I don't know why.
But nor do I. But he has just like Jason Worth surprisingly had future national written all over him. There's something about Brandon Marsh that does say future Yankee.
It's like their ability to take that like 1 year flyer out on someone like McCutchen.
Yeah.
You know, like that
weird.
season. Yeah, that season he had with the Yankees. That's why, like, when you said that, like, the first picture I got in my head was like McCutchen out there in the pinstripes. I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, you're right.
If you have it on the top of your head, what is the craziest, like, oh shit, that guy did play for them that you can think of?
Steve Sachs.
For whom?
The Yankees.
All right, I can do
No, I'm joking.
You just love saying Steve Sachs. Yeah, I respect the hell out of that. I did.
There you go. You figured it out.
I love it.
Yeah, no, sure. Steve Sachs.
All right. For me, it's Jimmy Rollins in a Dodgers uniform. I can't.
Oh, I thought you were going pure Yankees.
Oh, no, just in general. Like anyone in a different jersey than what you grew up Like Pujols in a Angels one wasn't so bad because you're used to seeing him in red, but it was weird to see him not in a St. Louis jersey.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Rollins in a Dodgers, I never liked that.
Yeah.
Chutley had Dodger energy.
Well, he looked like one, right?
Chutley had Dodger energy, which is funny because J-Roll's actually from LA. But yeah, when Chase was in Dodger blue, it was like, okay, yeah, no, that tracks. Still love our boy.
I don't think there is anyone that I've ever been like outright,
Okay. Well, good.
I just accept it all.
What if Aaron Nola would have worn a Braves jersey?
Would have been weird.
Would have been weird.
It would have been weird.
But it would have given the fan base because the fan base in general is always teeter-tottering on love it, hate it with Aaron Nola.
Yeah.
So like if he were to pull that, it'd be like, oh, sweet, we can all just hate him now. Like, cool. That's the final, but we don't have a final answer because it could happen at any given moment, greatness or not. I love it.
Well, I think when that whole conversation was going down, what was that? Last season?
I think so, yeah.
Everyone was
free agent signing.
Yeah, everyone was prepared for it, right? Like
For sure.
We were ready to drop the biggest good luck with that bum. Have fun and like we'll spank him every 5 games just like he would, we were ready for that energy. He signs with the Philly and for the first 2 months it's like welcoming back the prodigal son. So
yeah.
what?
Oh yeah. I can't wait to see what happens this year.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. Danny.
Yeah.
I guess we did it. This maybe wasn't our strongest affair, but you know what? It's the preseason or spring training, depending on which religion you ascribe to. You only get a good 3 innings out of us, and the rest of it's pretty much crap. So thanks for sticking with us for the whole hour. Danny, sign us out.
Yeah, it was fun. We promised we'd talk more ball, and we're figuring out ways to do it. Hey, we'll do better next time. Everyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree.